My co-host Sounds in the building, and today, you guys, we got the so lovely Kim So Major in the building. If you guys don't know, she's a media personality and music marketing consultant. You probably heard her on Houston's Hot 95.7, as well as being a published celebrity interviewer for Hip Hop Weekly magazine. She's out here in the city doing big things, y'all, and we're going to talk to her about being in public relations and branding for 1501 certified entertainment CEO Carl Crawford. Welcome in. How are you feeling today?
I'm good, thank you.
I'm
Good morning.
so
Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure.
What's up, people?
We're out here doing our research about you, and being a publicist, being a person of influence to help influence the influencers, if that made sense, is a pretty big deal. I want to know, when did you first discover your passion for writing?
You know, it's so interesting. I don't have a passion for writing.
Really?
I don't. That is one of the most tedious things that I really don't like to do. It's very interesting. My passion came from promotions.
Okay.
So I used writing as a vehicle to promote people's brands and tell their stories. So that's what gives me the motivation to write, but it's not something that I studied.
It's more about promoting good people with
and like being able to tell a story in you know, a classy way, and like not salacious, and actually be able to bring out someone's, you know, true brand, like who they are, to on a large scale, to, you know, be able to be marketable to a lot of people.
That's what I like about a lot of your interviews, and I have read your articles or your journalism before, but you have a way of making the people that we don't know familiar to us. You know what I'm saying? What is it that you look for to bring out in each artist when you're interviewing them? Is it certain qualities? Is it different for each person?
Yeah, it is, because I interview a lot of rap artists. I mean, I've interviewed entertainers and actors and comedians and stuff, but majority of my interviews has been in the hip hop world. So, you know, kind of dealing with like rappers and stuff, there's a lot of egos, and then you always have like this, you know, people have misconceptions about them. Like sometimes, like I've interviewed people, and like some people like, you weren't scared or you weren't intimidated because like this so-called like street person is like, and I'm like, you know what, no, like I'm not. I don't even think about stuff like that. Honestly, I just like try to figure out like.
That was my next question. Like, who was the first person you interviewed that had you like starstruck?
I probably would have to say Diddy.
Really?
Yeah, I probably would have to say Diddy definitely had me starstruck, and to a degree because I just know the magnitude of what was happening. So I just was like, really just like, I want to make sure that he remembers me, and that I do like an excellent job, because it was a roundtable discussion. I wasn't the only interviewer, so I basically was battling with like several other journalists, newspaper people to get, you know, my story. So originally it was supposed to be a one-on-one, but something happened. They're like, no, we're all gonna do it together, and I was like, what?
So you had to
like,
outshine that.
Oh yeah. So I went into hustle mode real quick.
The impression why, you know, you was in a room with the people that you need to be with.
Yeah, I sat right, because I seen the three, you know, I sat right next to him, made sure like I was interjecting myself. I asked like, they're like, oh, only ask one question. I asked like three, you know. Yeah, you know, I followed up real quick. As soon as he finished, I'm like, and then I wanted to ask, you know, everyone else was talking, like they kept trying to ask questions, but I pretty much was just like, if you talk at the same time, someone's gonna stop talking. I wasn't the one to stop talking.
So did you have a strategy when you went into that meeting? Was it a strategic standpoint to where you was gonna sit by him? You was gonna interject like
No, because originally I thought I was doing a one-on-one with him. So I had questions. I had maybe like 12 questions that I wanted to ask him based on the story that I was doing. I was doing a cover story for him.
Okay.
And so I needed to get, you know, so much information in so we could have a great cover story. It was like an in-depth profile feature. But when they told me like things change, you only get like 2 questions, and then all these other people are gonna be there, I was like, oh no, that's not gonna work for me.
That's not how it's set up. So what's the one thing that you feel that he gave you, that piece of knowledge that you've applied throughout the rest of your career?
You know what? From that interview, I think that what sticks out to me is the fact that he kept using disruptive. He was actually talking about the television show that he was developing and bringing out, and he kept saying that I'm about to, this is going to be disruptive. What you're normally used to, we're
Breaking that box.
Yeah, exactly. So that kind of like hit home for me, and it kind of like put the battery in my back. Like, okay, so what I'm doing, is disruptive. It should be like on his, wavelength, his trend, his frequency. He should vibe with it.
It's funny you said that. I don't know if you saw Sounds. Diddy was recently at some type of panel, and there was a woman who was asking him so many questions, and he was like, you know what? Stand up. After this, come talk to me, and I'm gonna hire you. We're gonna talk about this outside. It was because of her aggression, her ambition, her breaking that box that it brought that attention. So I guess that's a good thing to just keep in mind, is to keep it pushing like that.
Yeah,
I think that's how he kind of operates, though. That's how he kind of rose into fame, being disruptive, going against the, the odds of everybody else. So, yeah.
Absolutely, definitely. So I totally agree. And I mean, just that type of energy, and then Khaled and Megan Trainor. I mean, there was so much star power and, people who work on a high level. So it's like, I'm trying to get all that in, anytime I'm around someone who, I really respect or, look up to professionally.
Right.
I'm just trying to soak up every single thing that I can.
Y'all soak it up. I'm taking notes right now. Let's believe it. I was telling my audience earlier before you came in that you started out in radio doing promo. How did radio, your journey on that open doors for you? Was it that first and then you got into do radio, the interviewing?
I started in, let's see, when did I start? Oh, I started with street promotions. I started with Rough Riders. I don't know if anyone remembers, but they had a big lifestyle marketing, guerrilla marketing team. Just evolved to bikes and all type of stuff. But I was basically responsible to go to the clubs and go to the colleges and bring the records. We actually had vinyl.
Right.
We actually had vinyl, records at that time that we would serve to DJs, and I literally would have to take pictures with my little camera to go develop them, have them sign she DJ High C, T Gray, Steve Nice, Aggravated, all the big, legendary Houston DJs, I'm like, hey, I need you to play this Styles P, I need you to play this Jadakiss, and especially in Houston, I was like, we're not really on that, but I got a lot of love from High C, Good Grief, there's a lot of DJs that made it easy for me, and then other ones I had to keep hounding over and over and over. And,
that's me. Squeaky Will gets the oil. I really admire how that you were a college rep for the Rough Riders, but you weren't in college.
Yeah,
and
no,
to me, a lot of people feel like if you don't go to school, if you're not in college, that the opportunities aren't there for you.
True.
Can you, I guess, just give a little detail about what your experience was opening doors? Because it seems like you just create opportunities for yourself.
Oh, thank you. I do. God creates them for me. Yeah,
God.
God creates everything for me. Without Him, every single thing I give credit to, because there's been times where I don't know, and I'm just literally picked. I was on the street promoting. I was actually in Carrington's parking lot, putting up these posters, they call them snipes or whatever, putting them up in the parking lot, and this guy in a radio station truck drove up to me I seen you out here before. What are you doing out here? What are you doing out here? And I was dressed like a little tomboy, because I never wanted anyone to be think I was a groupie or something like that. So I always overdid it with the tomboy stuff, big coats, and it's what are you out here you little girl with this big old shirt on, what are you doing? I'm I'm promoting. It's you need to come work for me, I'm doing a new radio show. I'm doing it, actually he was over promotions over a new radio station, and he's we need a team, would you be an intern, college intern? I'm I'm not in college, so we'll figure it out. Are you able to do it? I'm sure, and then boom, I've been in radio for 14 years.
So do you think your appearance, your baggy clothes and everything, your boyish look, do you think that actually brought the attention to you while everybody else was out there kind of look pretty and prissy and doing the promotions?
Yeah, she did it work.
And that was my whole thing.
Yeah.
That was my whole thing. I wanted to make sure there was no conception that I'm here to work. I want respect, just like my male counterparts. Like, I want to be taken seriously. I want respect. Don't try to holler at me. Don't try to, befriend me just to, whatever. So I really wanted to, I have 2 older brothers, so, I guess I grew up at a time where it was like, it wasn't cool to be a hoe. It wasn't celebrated.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
No marks or
no,
marathons
it wasn't.
for it?
No, it was like before I fell in love with a stripper. So I'm like, doing what I know. Being respectful, being modest. You know what I'm saying? So.
But that's what gets you to the top. I mean, a lot of people think, okay, you got to sleep your way, or you're actually showing young ladies that, hey, hard work does get you up there to the upper levels.
Now, you're talking from a man's standpoint.
Oh.
Every woman knows that you don't have to lay down or none of that. However, if you're beautiful, Kim, you're beautiful.
Thank you.
You're going to get tried.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. And I feel some type of way that you felt like you had to kind of like downplay your look a little bit to be taken more seriously.
Yeah.
How do you overcome that stuff? Because for me,